Hello and welcome to the week ahead video. Quite a few things to brief you on ahead of the next 5 days of trade. The geopolitical risk remains well and truly towards the forefront of investor focus. This is as the instability in Eastern Europe remains. The latest report suggests the Ukrainian army continue to encroach on the pro-Russian separatist-held territory around Donetsk. Any topic of a ceasefire has been shot down by the self-proclaimed Prime Minister of the Donetsk People's Republic, who said negotiations in regards to a ceasefire are, quote, pointless as the Ukrainian army continue to fire upon civilians and pro-Russian separatists within the area. As such, the response from Russia remains keenly eyed, particularly in the wake of what we saw last Friday, where Russia appeared to somewhat ease its stance towards Kiev, saying it does wish to de-escalate the crisis in the area, and they of course scaled back on the military exercises just on the Ukraine-Russia border. Elsewhere this weekend we did see a 72-hour ceasefire being brokered by Egypt between Israel and Palestine. As such, we should see 3 days of non-violence in the Gaza Strip. Despite this, all analysts do continue to look ahead to any further announcements that could potentially broker a more long-term and sustainable ceasefire between the two sides. As such, the first trading session of the week has been focused on a perceived de-escalation of the global geopolitical risk. This is despite further airstrikes taking place over the weekend in northern Iraq against the ISIS militants conducted by the US after Obama's authorization last week. Looking ahead in terms of economic events though, a lot of focus will be on Wednesday's Bank of England quarterly inflation report. In terms of expectations, the Bank of England's forecasts are expected to show that pay growth is still likely to lag behind inflation this year, keeping the Bank of England with a relatively comfortable buffer or estimate of slack for which the Bank of England can justify keeping relatively low rates. In terms of growth and inflation projections, they're expected pretty much unchanged from what we saw 3 months ago, and as such a lot of focus will be on the press conference from Carney for any signals that we could see from the BOE on just when the first rate hike for the BOE's bank rate can occur. Other than this, we have the German ZEW survey on Tuesday, UK GDP on Friday, and in terms of earnings releases, it slightly winds down this week, but the Tier 1 focus will be on Walmart, who are due to report their latest earnings in the next 5 days. Of course, we'll bring you all those releases as soon as it hits the wires, as well as any other relevant commentary to your trading. For the meantime, that's all from me. Make sure you have a fantastic week.